Continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text 22. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nana vaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I'm engaged in prescribed duties. So Krishna is here explaining his position. That's the reason we need to hear the Bhakti Shastras from the devotees, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, from the devotees, because they can tell us clearly what Krishna is saying and not put their own meanings or their own ideas into what Krishna is saying. Because then it's not what Krishna is saying, but the other person's mental speculation. Krishna is saying there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems. He's God. He doesn't need to do anything, nor am I in want of anything. We have prescribed duties. Whatever position we are in, we have to do whatever duties based on that position. And then we need, if I say, no, I don't need anything, I'll be just cheating myself. We need so many things for our maintenance, physical, emotional, mental, isn't it? And then we always need that I need to get this, I need to get that. But Krishna is saying, nor have I need to obtain anything. He doesn't, he's Atma Ram. He's fully, completely satisfied by himself. He has all these energies by which he just feels happy by himself. Yet, he says, I'm engaged in prescribed duties. Whenever Krishna comes, in what form he comes, then he engages himself in the duties which are suited in that form. He came in a human-like form 5,000 years ago. So he did all the duties of a human being because he came in a human-like form. Not that he's a human being. He's not a human being. That is his original form. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in the Vedic literatures as follows: Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram, Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Devatam, Patim Patinam Paramam Parastad, Vidama Devam Bhuvanesham Idyam, Na Tasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate, Na Tat Samas Chabhyadikas Cha Drishyate, Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Shruyate, Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriya Cha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers, and he is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. So he's the controller of all other controllers. So we know controllers. Lord Shiva, he's a controller. That's why we say, right, Shiv Bhagwan, or we say, who else we say? Or Durga Devi, she's a controller. Lord Brahma, he's a controller. Indra Dev, he's a controller. Surya Devi is a controller. But now who's the supreme controller of all? That is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. The Ishwar, the Supreme Lord, the controller of all controllers is Krishna. We also have tiny control. We might have a little control over whoever, a few people here and there, our employees, or people working under us, or maybe our children or our parents or our spouse. But the supreme controller is Krishna. And he's the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Who are the diverse planetary leaders? All the demigods. The demigods, or before for example, this planet Earth, she was ruled by, at one point, by Bharat Maharaj. That's why it's called Bharatvarsh. Or then Yudhishthir Maharaj. Like that. Everyone is under his control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. So how do we get power? How do any of us get power? We get it from Krishna. How does for example, Lord Ganesh, or Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Durga Devi, Indra, Chandra, Vayu, who else? There's so many, 33 crore demigods. How are they getting their power? From Krishna. He is also worshipable by all demigods and is the supreme director of all directors. We all like to be a tiny director. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and you do this and you do that. We have our tiny place of control, right? We are directing people under us or who we are some relationship with. You do this, I'm going to do this. But who's the supreme director? Who's directing all of us is Krishna. That's why we are all puppets in his hands. We are all puppets in his hands. We just have to recognize it and accept it. It's because we don't want to recognize and accept, we are here in the material world. We are all instruments of Krishna. But we say, why should I be an instrument of anyone else? Why should I be Krishna's instrument? I want everyone else to be my instrument. You know, or we say, okay, I have nothing to do with anyone, but I am independent. No one has anything to do with me and I have nothing to do with anyone. But all these are just our fantasies. It's not the fact. So therefore, he is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders and controllers and is worshipable by all. There is no one greater than him. And he's the supreme cause of all causes. Krishna is the supreme cause of all causes. So this is in the Vedic literature. So directly, so clearly it's mentioned that there is no one greater than Krishna. He's the supreme leader of all the leaders, of all the controllers. He's worshipable by everyone. So this is the Sveteshvatara Upanishad 6.7 and 8. He does not possess a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between his body and his soul. He is absolute. So Krishna's body and soul is the same. It's a spiritual body. There is no difference. In our pure state, also, we have no difference between body and soul. We have a spiritual body also. But now we have forgotten that. And that's the reason we are put inside this material body. Because we want to be separate than Krishna. So Krishna, all his senses are transcendental. Krishna is absolute. We are not absolute. We are not absolute, but Krishna is absolute. Any one of his senses can perform the action of any other sense. He can eat with his eyes, he can walk with his legs. And of course, walk with his legs, we do that too. I'm sorry, he can walk with his hands. We hear that in Isopanisad, that any of his sense can do any function. He impregnates the entire material energy by just looking at her. By looking at her, he puts all his living entities inside this material world. We don't impregnate anyone like that. You know, we have a very different system. So therefore, no one is greater than him or equal to him. His potencies are multifarious, and thus his deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. He's extremely powerful. Krishna has many, many potencies. So just by his willing, by his desire, things happen. He does not need to physically do anything. And in perfect order. It's not that he is taking the clay and making one planet and then trying to hold it and making another planet with the clay and the earth and fire. No, just by his willing, all these universes are coming out from his body. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. There's nothing for Krishna to achieve. Everything is his. You know, he doesn't need to do anything. And yet, Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas, because the Kshatriyas are duty-bound to give protection to the distressed. So because he's a Kshatriya, at the time where the Kurukshetra war is happening, he's a Kshatriya. So he's here also on the battlefield as a leader of the Kshatriyas. And the duty of the Kshatriya is to give protection to give protection. And so that's the reason all these demoniacal kings have to be killed. They are the kings on the side of Duryodhan. They were calling themselves kings and leaders, but they were not doing the duty of protecting the citizens. Protection of the citizen is that we protect them for material life, and at the same time protect the spiritual life, encourage them in their spiritual life to make sure that this life is the last life, and then can go back home, back to Godhead after giving up this life. But those Kshatriyas were not doing that. That's the reason Krishna wanted the war to happen. And that's why he wanted, again, Yudhishthir Maharaj to sit on the throne. He wanted the earth to be again ruled by devotees. Although he's above all the regulations of the revealed scriptures, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. So Krishna is not duty bound, but any action, he never goes against the scripture. He is the one who is making the laws, and he himself follows them. He does not violate the revealed scriptures. Is that okay? The principles of religion, he does not violate the principles of religion. And his every action is for the all good of everyone. He's thinking, we think good for ourselves or for my body or whoever's related to my body, whoever's related to my country, my society, my community. But Krishna, everything is his, everyone is his. So he's thinking good for everyone. Is that okay? Any comments or questions or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's quite clear. And yes, again, the glorification. So how glorious he is.
Yeah, right? Glorious, right? You know, I just feel that, yeah, he's very merciful. You know, like, because for example, we were just talking yesterday, Donnie and me. So the holy name is so merciful, right? We can chant the holy name anywhere, anytime, even when you're taking shower or even, using the toilet, anywhere, any moment. But the holy name is Krishna himself, because he's absolute. So there's no difference between his name, form, qualities, pastimes, paraphernalia, right? So we were talking that yesterday. So in the morning while chanting, I was thinking, who of us would like to accompany anyone in the toilet? Surely I wouldn't. But Krishna is agreeing to do that. How kind is he? How merciful is he? How loving is he? How compassionate is he? Because the holy name is Krishna himself, right? Although, okay, we don't realize it because we are still on the material platform, but he's on the absolute platform. And so he's agreeing to go with us anywhere, anytime. And as the Paramatma is in our heart, at every moment. So we say to people, oh, I love you, but we also have our limits. But here Krishna is like all there for us. How much love he has. And yet we say he does not exist. He's not a person. So how offensive are we, to deny such a loving person. So yeah. Let's stop here for today. Did you want to say anything else?
Yeah, like as the same thing, like when a mother is there, so he's like a greatest father and mother who loves us unconditionally.
Yeah.
Like how a mother will, like as you mentioned, that who would accompany? Only a mother can accompany, nobody else.
Yeah, that's true. That also till the time the child is small.
Yeah, your child, yeah.
So
That's what. But he is so merciful.
Yeah. So thank you. That's true. Thank you. We are all Krishna's children, actually. We pretend that we are very grown up and we are this. And,
Yes.
we are like how a baby is in the lap of a mother. We are like that. That's our position. But
Actually, this is like how our children pretend when they are 16 or 17 or 18 and 19. They pretend that they are grown-ups and they can handle everything. So that's how we pretend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's how we are pretending that,
That's
oh
right.
Krishna, I'll handle. But
yeah,
अरे एक हाथ भी नहीं मूव कर पा रहे हो, कहाँ से हैंडल करेंगे हम?
Exactly. That's so true. That's our position. I can
Yes.
do it. I can do it. But we do not have that capacity, but we are not able to accept it. And because we are not able to accept, we are here in this material world. The moment we start accepting, then that's liberation. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, such nice points. Very nice realization.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Okay. So we'll stop here for today. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Nande Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.